Hello YouTube, I hope your day is absolutely amazing. Today is the day again. I'm gonna give you free coaching. Today we're gonna do a Jarvan edition, so this is gonna be very valuable. Last time we did Master Yi and you guys really enjoyed it, and now especially for the Master Yi players and enjoyers here watching right now, this is gonna be especially valuable because you always see my insights on Master Yi. Now seeing it at a different champion, me applying the same fundamentals will be very valuable, and I hope you're gonna enjoy this as well. Again, I'm gonna give you guys full education. I'm gonna permanently explain every single thing I do, every click I make, every move I do, so you guys have the maximum coaching session. I'm gonna full try hard in talking. I'm gonna permanently talk. I'm not gonna make a break maybe to drink one bit of water, but I want to give you as much knowledge as possible for free. Before we get into the game now, I'm gonna swap now with my mid laner. I'm gonna show you the runes and the items and everything you should be going for. I'm gonna swap with my mid laner. It's better if my mid laner can counter pick, and I also want to secure Jarvan here in this position. These are the runes to take. A lethal tempo is not as good as Conqueror, and also the others are not very valuable. Thunderer Sky is, in my opinion, the most insane for Jarvan. I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. Let me finish the runes here real quick. I also think Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight is just great. Cosmic Insight is 1v9 on Jarvan. You want to get the first item Power Spike as soon as possible, so you don't really want to waste gold buying boots. Attack speed 80 and scaling health is for sure the best, especially now because we are going to play Jarvan more for the late game kind of style. Last Stand is better because you're simply gonna engage a long time, and you're gonna also want to be in the fight for a long time, so there will be a lot of situations where you will most likely be half HP. Now before we get into the game, I want to talk for 1 second about the nerfs in about the buffs in general. So the armor growth gets increased. This is really good for his scaling, and the cooldown of his Q gets buffed. Now, I think this buff is too much, and I assume that they have to nerf it. I'm not so sure though, because Jarvan is a very popular champion, and I would really love to see them not changing it, and maybe it will be absolutely fine. If it stays like this, this is really valuable, and I think Jarvan will be S tier again. Now, if you look at it, a late game 2 seconds on Q is extremely good for Jarvan, and especially with that you can play around your flag way more. You can have EQs, you're gonna get your Q back up early, like very soon. If you have your full items, you should have around 2.7 seconds cooldown on your Q, which is absolutely insane if you ask me. Now, not only his Q, but also, as I said, the armor growth, the stats you get from that is just way too good. And both of it will be making this champion a very decent scaling champion. The next thing I want to say real quick is they only put these buffs on Q because they don't think you're gonna have too much abilities to spam this, but I kind of disagree with Riot Games here in this position. They said they changed the Spear of Jorgen, and that's what they are not really scared of, making these kind of buffs. I do believe though, especially now after Black Cleaver also got buffed, that you're gonna go Thunderer Sky into Ionian Boots into Black Cleaver almost every single game, at best with Frozen Heart and Spirit Visage. And trust me, when you have all those items, you will be unkillable. I do think Steel Caps and Mercs are both viable. Let's see when the game starts here. They are both kind of viable, but I have to say that Ionian Boots will outperform most likely every single one of this. The armor growth will give you a little bit more survivability. And the Q cooldown, keep in mind, is not only aggressive, the CC you provide is also giving you a lot of survivability. Alright, before we get into the game, I need to be really quick. The game is about to start, and I want to give you as much knowledge as possible. I want to here cover for 1 second the Belweth from the general and jungle information. Belweth gets us nerf. I don't think the nerf is... I think it's bad, but I don't think it's too bad. I think she will for sure still be playable. Let me get my items here. The green pet is also better. I think red pet is possible for the Q poke, but it's not needed. I'm just gonna get into position. I'm not gonna put an early ward and get sweeper because I want to finish explaining my opinion here. I think the nerfs are decent, as I said. I think it will nerf her, but she will 100% still be viable. I highly recommend to go Kraken first, and especially if you're snowballing correctly. For snowball, that doesn't really matter that much because you're not using E that often for the damage reduction anyways, and mainly for the damage. Now, let's talk about Maokai for 1 second. I do think that Maokai will be very, very nice for the jungle. The Q buff is just way too huge. Having 40 extra damage on Q is really, really massive. And I'm considering myself to play a lot of Jarvan, Maokai, and Wukong myself now. I need to start walking to the jungle now, but I will finish my point. Wukong gets a decent buff, and especially for lower elo ranks, the fact that you can get his passive faster is very, very, very valuable. And I think I will also be playing more and more Wukong. I also think it's like, because of all these changes, his clear will in general be way more healthy and therefore way more enjoyable. And I think with Jarvan and Wukong and Maokai, you're all gonna have a beautiful time. Okay, let's get into the game. I'm gonna make it very educational. I'm gonna explain everything. Of course, we can argue that while I explained you the patch notes, while I took a look at with you guys on the patch notes, that I could have been invaded me. Nonetheless, I was kind of risking that. If you play the game, make sure to start minute 0 and cover both entrances, or one entrance is for sure. Otherwise, it's a little bit risky. Okay, let's get it started. You can have the trick that you kind of like avoid the small Krug to walk towards you if you stand behind the big Krug, and then the small Krug doesn't even attack you and it just walks around you. I can show you that in my streams. I will always do that, especially in my Yi games. If you look at back, I do that with every single champion, and it just makes you a little bit more healthy. Okay, we're gonna just get a clear done here. I always start wrap buff with Jarvan. I think it is just simply the best, because you want your Krugs and your chickens to respawn the earliest. I'm gonna path to my bot side here. I'm considering, okay, do I need to find an early gank? Top lane seems very fine. Mid lane looks fine. I always look at the map while I clear my camps. Since how I attack these camps particularly, I know exactly what to do anyways, you know. The moment, like, when you play long enough, you will know how to clear it, and you have time to look on the map. For example, now I will just press W and then get my Q ready, not Q deflect, because I would stun myself if I do so, and I'm just gonna finish attacking the blue buff. So it is very simple, and I'm pretty sure you can apply it as well. Top lane is fine. I think Vi also started bot side, so I'm gonna be danger pinging top side in a second. The moment I finished my camps, now I assume she's also on her blue buff or her grump, and we're just gonna finish this. Now I'm gonna check, okay, can I do something bot lane? How is it looking mid lane? Can I cover this? Can I engage somewhere? Okay, the wave is looking pretty good. They're gonna push towards. I'm not that scared of the Vi. I do assume Vi is topside, so I'm gonna danger ping it. Very nice that Twisted Fate didn't trade HP. Usually what you can keep in mind as a laner as well, you should never be trading HP when your jungler is on the other side of the map. Otherwise it will be very, very easy for the enemy jungler to dive you. Alright, I'm considering a mid lane play, most likely not gonna work. I'm just gonna put a ward. He's gonna play very aggressive, therefore I assume that Vi is gonna be close. I need to play it very simple. I'm gonna EQ her because I predicted he's gonna E with her, and if he didn't E, then Anivia would at least be fine. Since I know Vi is close, I most likely will not be able to get a play off here. If he does make this stupid mistake, of course, I'm just gonna make sure of it. I do still believe that Vi is topside. Anivia has the egg, so I'm not that scared if Vi uses flash and then engage on the Anivia on this position. And now we have the wave pushed in, and I can gladly reset. While I do this, I'm also gonna ward, and as you can see, Vi is here. Was very obvious, very fundamental jungle tracking. We assumed she started bot side, path to top was absolutely precisely right. If she did otherwise, if she did a different pathing, okay, my reset is not the best. I'm not gonna buy a control. I'm explaining it in a second. If Vi was bot side and pathed the other way around, I would have known, because eventually she would have showed on the scuttle, or at least tried to gank bot lane or something like that, and then I would have division, and then I would have went for top lane scuttle. So just because of the simple tracking, be careful, bot lane, we knew exactly where Vi was. This play itself was a little bit, yeah, I would just say stupid. It didn't make that much sense because there was no camp up, but she doesn't have the jungle fundamentals you guys have as I have, so for her it was not as obvious as it is for us. I'm considering a top lane play. If it doesn't work out, can also consider invading her. Grump is not respawning yet. We know that because she pathed this way and her Grump respawns when my Grump around respawns. I'm not gonna use my EQ here, very important, otherwise he will flash to the other right and try to disengage. I'm just gonna wait for the stun. Now I'm gonna use my EQ, very simple, because then my EQ will hit it on a 100%. Always make sure to not waste your EQ. Use your EQ when it is consistently gonna hit every single game, no matter what. Here in this position, we can both agree that it might be a little bit risky to take all of them, especially since Gragas has TP. We can take a look if he does so. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Yeah, I have my smite ready for one of those. I'm gonna use my E here, and now in 10 seconds I'm gonna E over the wall if nothing is gonna come. I'm gonna smite this as well. And now I'm not gonna use my E and my Q anymore because I'm not so sure if I need to disengage. As you can see, Vi is coming. I'm going to try to fight her a little bit. We don't know where Gragas is. I'm gonna get my Conqueror. I'm not gonna use my abilities. I do think I lose this, especially since the enemy top laner is coming in. That's why I disengaged and I wasted Gragas' time as well. Now, you can pause the video here and rewatch it and think for a second. How high was the chance I die? Throughout the entire fight, you will notice the chance was absolutely zero. I permanently have my EQ and I also have my flash. If Gragas showed on top side or Kev was there earlier or Nivea was coming, I could have also considered to EQ the Vi, because in an open 1v1, I will always be winning. But be very sure that you're never dying. The chance you die should always be below 20%, and the chance you get a good outcome above 80%, and you will be perfectly covered. And as you can see, I'm ahead in CS. I have 1 kill. I'm in decent position while I'm permanently explaining what I do, and you can do the same, especially when you focus and you don't need to talk permanently like I am doing right now. I'm considering going for the dragon, maybe even a mid lane play. We do know I think about if Yasuo used flash. Let me scroll up. As you can see, Anivia pings, so therefore we can know that he used his flash. I'm also level 6. We do know Vi's bot side just because of her simple pathing. After she did everything on top side to try to fight me, she pathed to bot lane, and now I can try to engage on the Yasuo here, get the knockup and the tower push here. I still have my ult. I'm gonna path towards dragon because I will get mid lane prio, and with that maybe be able to play for the dragon. Alright, I need to drink water after this, lul. But at least you have great content, and I'm gonna try my absolute best. Okay, Vi spots it exactly like I pinged it. I do want to fight this as well. Vi has no ult. I'm gonna ult on the Renata here, I think, and then I try to EQ onto the Vi to knock her up, to deny her auto attack as well. I still have my flash. I'm not so scared. I try to avoid her Q, basically. I still have my flash. If I was able to get my abilities off earlier and Sundar was there a little bit earlier, it would have been way more promising. Here in this position, we can't argue if I disengage here. Let's see if Yasuo's gonna path towards the bot side. If he does, I will give this a dragon here. I can also, this is a little tip, you can also just E over the wall, and with this extra vision you will know if Vi is going to contest this. I still have my flash, but I just generally dislike this play. What would have been better probably is just insta reset, go for blue buff and then play for dragon. But because Voidcraft's already gone, I really, like, if I manage to get a dragon like this, especially with Jarvan, it is huge. Jarvan, generally speaking, clears the dragon really, really well. I would have already Thunder Sky, so there was no reason to flip for this dragon here. As I said, it would have been better, more consistent to reset, go for blue buff and then play for the dragon. I was pretty sure though that Vi is not gonna come, and especially if you get a dragon early with Jarvan, it is massive, because keep in mind guys, if you get the dragon, it also means that the enemies are not getting the dragon. You're getting faster to the soul as well, because now the next dragon is gonna respawn already in 4.5 minutes, so that means you have the win condition of getting the soul. And as well, you also have that faster in comparison to when you clear the dragon later. Alright, let's see if the Gragas is able to stop the Twisted Fate here from resetting. It doesn't seem like it, so I'm gonna be very chill here in this position. Yasuo still plays very aggressive. With that information, also from what we have seen earlier, we can highly assume that we can find a mid lane play there as well. So after I cleared one side of the map, I will consider to find a play. But very important guys, use the fundamental of clearing and then ganking. Do not gank before you've done your topside camps. Now we have a short frame of ganking. I'm just gonna play very aggressive. I can also ult here. I'm not that scared. We have a Nivea coming. I should be stronger than the Vi, especially with my full item, but especially with her ult. I need to be a little bit more respectable here. Let's see how that's gonna turn. I'm gonna use my EQ combo. Okay, if she ulted, even then I would have been fine. Hold a little bit distance. I have everything on cooldown. I have my Sundara Sky. I'm just gonna do all attacks. Try to sidestep as good as possible. That's what I'm doing. Wait until he uses EQ. Okay, he failed it here a little bit as well, and then we get a kill here. We see Vi is still dead for 1 second. Yasuo is on 18 seconds. I would still have my flash, so that's why I was not scared to go for that play in the first place. I'm gonna go for Void Grabs. I'm also gonna smite it. The first one tried to ping the Twisted Fate. I don't want him to keep pushing, because the Void Grabs are very valuable, especially when we're able to get 5. If you get 6, that would even be better. Keep in mind guys, 4 Void Grabs are not that impressive. If you have all 6 Void Grabs, that is insane. If you have 5, it's already really good. So you spot these small void mines when you hit the structures, and The next thing I want to say, which I get the question a lot, I'm gonna reset here for Ionian boots. As you can see, my next camp is gonna be my wolves, and I would be way too far of a distance if I just walk it. So it's better to reset, get my items here spent, and buy this. I could have bought a ruby crystal, that would have been fine. Longsword is better than glowing mode. The ability taste is nice, and you play around it. Nonetheless, you shouldn't be going for glowing mode, because I just think the raw damage with longsword is better. Alright, I was talking about something, but I forgot what I just talked about earlier. Okay, Dragon is better in 80% of the cases, yes, and Void Grubs in 20%. Void Grubs are better when you are hard snowballing and when you have a team that is, generally speaking, is pushing a lot or is sieging a lot. Champions like Ezreal, champions like Misfortune, Ashe, ranged champions usually tend to push way better than melee champions. That's why, especially when you have like melee kind of champions, Void Grubs don't really matter and you rather want to play for the soul. Look at the enemy team comp. Their team comp isn't really meant to split push or push in general. That's why I wouldn't mind if the enemies have the Void Grubs and I'm just gonna get the dragons. On my side of the map, I have Twisted Fate, which is pretty, generally speaking, pretty nice to split push. So for him, having Void Grubs is good. But as I said, in 80% of the games, even in this game, when you have some sort of push potential, a dragon is just better. Simply, you also get the stats from dragon, and having the potential to go for the soul is really, really nice. Okay, we're gonna consider something here. We have a great position. We wait for the wave to crash, and I'm just gonna walk in, use my EQ. I could have placed it a little bit better. I'm gonna use my ult here because I don't know how far the distance will go, and also just gonna Q over the wall. He will die. Probably Syndra gets the kill, but I don't really mind that. Okay, so Vi's top lane with jungle tracking, I could have known that and pinged it a little bit more dangerously. I'm just gonna cover mid lane, so Yasuo's not in the position to go for any sneaky plays. I want Anivia to play very aggressive, and I do hope so. Just gonna use my EQ again, and he's gonna die here once again. I'm gonna invade enemy chickens. As you can see, it's about to spawn. It's really, really threatening when you get something like that. And we're gonna do that right away. Now the next thing is Void Grubs give you some stats, but the stats you get isn't really that massive. You just get a little bit more damage, and if you spawn these Void Mines, it is pretty decent, but it's a luxury. It's not a necessity. What is a necessity? Well, not like let's say Dragon is an even bigger luxury. You kind of always want to go for the soul because soul is almost instant winning. Fun fact here on the side, may you don't know, you can pause it here. I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think is the win rate of Cloud Soul? So basically the team that already has Cloud Soul, what do you think? How high is the win rate here? I have a Q in 5 seconds. Let's see what I can do here. I do want to engage on her. Let's see what I can do. Okay, that is just absolutely full griefing what she's doing. She does have Edge of Night. Okay, I'm just gonna use my W to slow it. I also have my smite ready. Yeah, the enemies are playing pretty poorly. That questions me what elo this even is. I do think it's around platinum gold, but it doesn't even matter if this is master tier or if this is even lower elo than this. Trust me, guys, you can do the same in your emerald games, you can do the same in your gold games, and you can do the same in your master tier games. If you apply the fundamentals and the knowledge I try to give you guys perfectly all the time, you can win your games. And this only looks that easy because I'm doing everything I also explain correctly while I play it, and you, as I said, with all the information can do the same. And trust me, the games you struggle in silver, the games you struggle in platinum, they are not that hard as it seems. Like if I was playing it would look way easier. If another great player was playing it, it also would look way easier. It's just that it does look hard because you are doing habit mistakes you are applying, like basically doing every single game without you realizing those are massive mistakes. Look what I'm doing. All I'm doing is just full clearing right now. Why? Because look at this. I'm 7-0. I have an insane amount of damage. I want to have my next item finished. I have a Black Cleaver here. There's no reason to go for this Herald. A lot of people will go for this, and then Vi and Yasuo would maybe find a catch on me, get the shutdown on me, get Herald, get my topside jungle, and they are back in the game. While I'm just taking the topside camps, and with that the enemies are really not able to play. I'm not even gonna go for a gank now. Why? Because I have the perfect amount of gold to get my Black Cleaver. Afterwards, I'm gonna take the portal to topside, and then I'm gonna play for Herald and maybe find a top lane gank, and I don't see anything the enemies can do to stop this. One more thing, I do think Black Cleaver is better than Spear of Sojourn. Now Spear of Sojourn is optional on Jarvan. I personally am a big Black Cleaver enjoyer, especially after the nerfs. I really enjoy this. Okay, the Yasuo's gonna all chat now. I'm just gonna EQ here. Even if he's coming, even if he's not face checking me, I don't really mind it. And as you can see, Vi did indeed get the Herald. And if I was there, they could have potentially killed me. Yes. If he walks close, I'm just gonna Q and combo him here. I have my Sandra Sky here. I don't really mind this at all. There's nothing they can do to kill me. I'm way too strong. I'm just gonna try to engage on him one more time. He's gonna die from the red buff here, most likely. If not, I'm just gonna flash smite him. I have my Q here again. I have my Surrender Sky proc, and I'm gonna use my flag and ult and auto attack. I'm very confident. Why? And why do I win this so easily? Why does Anivia say I'm so good, guys? Why? I reset because I have Black Cleaver. A lot of people would have first went for a fight on Herald. They would have like, I'm so fat, I'm not gonna give this Herald. They would have tried to defend Anivia earlier, whatever. And then they realized, wait a second, I lose this. They would have lost this mid lane fight. And even though the enemies played that really well, that fight, they had a 0 chance of ever fighting me there, just because I have my items and I used my lead correctly. And you can do the same. Okay, there was another point I wanted to talk about earlier. He's used his flash. I'm just gonna walk at him. Don't use your EQ. Don't use your EQ. Look what I'm playing. I'm just Wing slow, auto attack. I'm not even gonna use my EQ. Is this complicated? Is this complicated? I know you would have done this. And then he would have EO flashed. I know you guys. Okay, here you can reset and get pretty decent items. I will do that even here, unless they are in danger. I think we can push this tower. I'm not that scared from the Vi here in this position. I'm just gonna focus the tower here. If she plays fully aggressive, I even consider fighting her. I did not expect that much damage. She's actually full lethality. I needed to be aware of that way more. I would also recommend to tap to see the enemy's HP. I do believe if Twisted Fate stayed here as well, we would have gotten the tower and then also gotten a dive in. It's not necessary. We can also reset, just play top side, get the bot side, play bot side, get the bot side camps, then cover the Anivia here and there. But in this game, I think I want to cover the Syndra, which is a way bigger win condition than the Anivia, which is another fundamental I explain on my course. Again, the course is on the description. It's one of the last weeks where you can potentially get it for the 100 euros. I'm going to increase the price to 140, but now you can still get it for 100 since I'm going to add more videos, especially season 14 videos on that course, which will help you to climb to your desired rank. I will be increasing it, as I said, but you can still get it for the cheap price. It will never be as cheap as it is right now, and all the videos that I will be uploading you will get for free if you get it now. All right, all the fundamentals I have on the course, I'm using in this game. I'm talking about it, I'm talking around it, I'm doing everything, and basically I'm not really struggling. It will be the same. I can go on the Master D account on the next video we make if you guys want to. You will notice it is not more complicated. I should not have used my EQ here. That was a mistake. That was a clear mistake. I'm gonna try to I'm just gonna try here to ult when the moment Yasuo uses his third Q ult, so I'm not CC'd during that time. I'm gonna get the plant, and now I'm just gonna play and focus up here a little bit. What needed to be done is just stay close to Syndra. You see, Syndra died while I was there. There was no reason for that. I should have just been close to Syndra, and then this would for sure not have happened. Here, going for Dragon is fine. Enemy Misfortune is that I should potentially get mid lane prior before it. Does seem like Gragas' top lane Misfortune is that they are about to give it, so I'm gonna try to go for it else. Well, you can block the Dragon knockup while using EQ here too. And now the more we scale, the better it is. Because of all the changes, we want to play with a very late game orientated kind of gameplay. Because a lot of people disagree with me here, but Jarvan is really strong in the late game now. I will show you maybe in this game, even if I can potentially. We got our proc here, even if he shoots his EQ, I don't really mind it. I'm gonna just cancel the stun, the knockup with my abilities here. I'm just gonna EQ again. My champion is really strong just because of my Q again. If there was someone, I could Q this flag twice, and that's what I would recommend you to play. The general gameplay for Jarvan, mechanically speaking, play around the flag. So that means if you flag here, you're gonna Q it, and then you're gonna kite around it. Ult, auto attack, flash, whatever. So you can insta-Q this again, and then you're gonna have another EQ ready in no time. So you have permanent knockup potential. I will show you that in a second. I'm gonna play more aggressive soon. Here I have my Frozen Heart, so I'm gonna reset. I can cancel my reset for this tower defense, but I don't think it is needed. Going here for a reset is just a simply straight up better. And now I'm gonna go for red buff. And then what do you guys think is the best macro? How am I gonna win this game? You can pause it again and think about it. The answer is I'm gonna win this game by covering my Syndra, playing for my win condition. I'm also a massive win condition, and with that cover we're getting a lot of mid lane pressure where we get more gold per second, and with that pressure we're able to get slowly to Baron. At the moment we have Baron, we can be pushing all the T2s, and the moment we have all the T2s we can play for the soul, and the moment we have the soul and the T2s pushed we can play for the inhibitors, and there's nothing the enemies can do about it. I'm just gonna play very aggressive, just ult straight away, because I feel very confident on that play. The reason why I feel confident on the play is because we saw enemies used a lot of abilities, and we still have all our abilities up, and even if I end up not winning that fight, I always have the potential to disengage with my E and Q and my flash. And as you can see, the enemies surrender here. It was not hard. I'm pretty sure you guys can do the same. It is doable, and yes, I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, now I was probably talking. Hope you enjoyed it. I can do that with any champion, anytime. Basically, I have been playing this game for so many years, and I tried really hard to give you guys my knowledge. I really appreciate all the recent support you guys have given me, and this is the exact support that motivates me to keep grinding, keep doing great videos for you guys. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Let me know in the comments what you liked, what you disliked, what you want me to cover more, what you want me to cover less, and I can try my best to put it into the next videos. Maybe even champions you are, like, maybe you play something, a specific gameplay style you want me to cover, maybe take a look over. We can also do like a watch games, like review, and I can tell you what is good, what is bad, what the enemies are doing. I can, or what you are doing. I can show over like some POV, my own gameplay again, in challenger elo, in lower elo, some champion. It doesn't matter what it is. I gladly help you guys, and if you want to improve and get even more content from me, as I said, the best content is for 100% the course. I highly recommend to check it out, or DM me on Discord for solo coaching. The course is exactly what helps you climb to the absolute top, and there are various people who got from lower elo to higher elo, and also people who got from master to high grandmaster as well. You can see the reviews on the Discord channel. It's also linked in the description, and from that Discord server you can also be DMing me personally and let me know, or of course you can ask me questions about the course, anything, and I try my absolute best to help. Leave a subscribe, leave a like, and let's go. I hope you enjoyed the free coaching. Take care of yourselves and have a wonderful stay with your families, my friends.